What's up, awesome YouTubers? Ryan1988 or Justin back here to do a video for you all. And today I'm here to review Final Destination 5. So I have it in this 5 movie pack with the previous 5 movies. This is leading up to Final Destination Bloodlines, which I will be reviewing once that movie comes out. But I wanted to review the previous 5 movies, and then eventually I'm going to rank all 6 of the Final Destination movies. So stay tuned for my ranking of all 6 of the movies. But let's talk about Final Destination 5. So I feel like this movie, because of how poorly the 4th movie was done, this movie came out, and while it was successful, I think people were done with the franchise at the time. And I sort of was losing hope. Like, I don't really like 4 at all. It's the worst of the franchise. Like I said in my review, there's some small pros with the film, but overall, it's a very disappointing movie, especially before the 4th movie. You had 3 strong movies that are still strong today. And so when the 5th movie came out, I did see it in theaters, and I loved it. And I'm telling you right now, I still love this movie. So let's talk about what I love about it in just a minute, but let me give you the plot of the film. This one surrounds a group of co-workers going on a retreat, and they're taking a bus to this retreat. And in the beginning of the movie, there's an accident on a bridge. It collapses, and there are people that die and people that survive the accident. And one by one, again, they are all, or death is following them, and people die one by one in mysterious ways. Again, you have a character who has a premonition of this accident that happens in the beginning of the movie. And as the movie goes on, he slowly starts, seeing hints of how somebody's going to die. He doesn't know exactly how they're going to die, but he has a vision of some sort. So this movie throws some really cool kind of ideas involving, death following this line of people and killing them off one by one. And that is, you can survive this in 2 ways. One, it's explained by Tony Todd, who is back in this movie after the 2nd movie. Tony Todd explains that, if you take the life of an innocent or somebody else, or death will skip you. So killing somebody else, death will skip you. Or if you take the life of somebody who was meant to survive death, without actually, being hunted by death, you can take that person out. So there's one person in this movie that was involved with the accident who survived the accident, but actually did not die in the main character's premonition. And if you kill that character, you will stop death from coming after you, or just in general, stopping death. Or so they think. So, because there's a really awesome twist at the end, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment, but I'll let you know, kind of spoilers talk, if you don't want to know about it. But this is, as of right now, again, I haven't seen 6 yet. You'll know my ranking once I see that movie and give you my thoughts on that movie. But as of right now, this is my 2nd favorite in the franchise. After part 2, I love this movie so much. I forgot how great this movie was until I watched it the other night. I think this movie is not only great, it is an awesome movie. Again, you do have that concept of somebody having a premonition, an accident happening in the beginning of the movie, death going after these survivors one by one. However, they throw some really cool, ideas in this movie that actually works. I explained in my review of the 4th movie that I felt like they were losing originality and there really wasn't anything there. Even throwing in like a nice little twist, like they just didn't have anything there that I was like, ooh, that's cool. That's a nice idea to throw into this franchise. This one throws in not only one, but two cool small concepts that make the movie work, and you're intrigued by it. So, overall, character wise, they're not some of the strongest characters. I think we've had stronger characters in the past. I do really like the main guy who has the premonition, who, pulls people from the accident at the beginning of the movie. And he's the one that sees, how people are going to die. So I really like him. I really like his girlfriend in this movie, Emma Bell, who was in movies like, Adam Green's Frozen. She was in The Walking Dead, I believe. She doesn't really do as much now, but back then, she was in a lot of stuff during this time. Frozen being one of her first main roles, and then she did this movie later on, or a couple years later. So I really like the cast. I think they're great. I think the acting is strong. I think the deaths are really creative in this movie and surprise you in some ways. Like, you don't see how certain people are going to die. So, really cool twist there, especially when you see it for the first time. Tony Todd does a great job again. His performances are always great. Like, I've been very impressed with Tony Todd's performances, not only in Candyman and the Final Destination franchise, but when he pops up in other stuff, I've been very impressed with his performances. And again, deaths are really creative. There's a couple that are really cringy, as far as like you're on the edge of your seat and you're like, oh, I can't believe that happened to that person. There's a eye. There's a scene involving an eye and a laser, and it's just very creepy. Gymnastics scene. So the deaths are great in this. Again, I like some of the twists, and then I want to talk about the spoiler in this. So overall, I love this movie. If you've not seen it, go watch it. This one surprised me in theaters, and almost 10 years later after not seeing this movie, since the first time, I still love it. Still love this movie, and it definitely ranks higher on this list of the franchise for me. So anyway, if you want to stop the video, I'm going to talk about the spoiler, but it's been out for 10 plus years, so you probably have seen it if you're a fan of the franchise. But this movie throws you for a loop because, the past two movies, Flight 180 was talked about, but there really wasn't, 180 involved in those accidents that happened to these group of people. In this movie, when you get to the end, so one of the characters, the main character, he is a chef in the film, or he's an upcoming chef, and he gets a job opportunity in Paris. So at the end of the movie, himself and his girlfriend, they have survived death, or so they thought, and they get on a plane. And the first time I saw this movie, I was shocked by this twist. It was such a great surprise. And you find out that the movie takes place in 2000, and the plane that they're on is the same plane from the first movie. And so they wind up dying at the end of this movie. And it's almost like the character, the main guy in this movie, passed down his premonitions, or the idea of premonitions, to Devon Sawa's character. And so you see Devon Sawa's character being kicked off the plane, and you see him kind of frantic and saying that the plane's going to explode. And so that is a great twist in this. So not only is this a sequel, but it's a prequel, and I love that. I've talked about this one the most during my reviews because I really love this movie, and rewatching it 2 nights ago, it's an awesome movie. And it's the one that I feel like doesn't get enough talk. I feel like 4 is kind of just a bad movie in general, and so people are going to talk about how terrible that is. And then the first 3 movies are just awesome movies like this. But 5 doesn't really get enough talk. I think it made quite a bit of money at the box office, but after that it just disappeared and really no one talks about it. So while we're waiting for Bloodlines, give this movie a watch. Check it out. I love Final Destination 5. So again, I rank it as my second favorite after Part 2. So anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you enjoyed this review series where I talked about these movies. I tried not to make these videos too long. Again, this is the longest of this review series, but I'm looking forward to reviewing Final Destination Bloodlines next month. And so you might be seeing this in the beginning of May. So it could be next month or in May. I'm filming this in April. But I'm looking forward to Bloodlines, and hopefully we have another strong movie in this franchise. So, as always, y'all are awesome, y'all rock, and with a positive out with a negative. Much love to you all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.